If you're headed onto a Norwegian or Royal Caribbean ship out of the port of New Orleans for the first time, this video is for you. Even if you've cruised out of NOLA many times on Carnival, listen up, because I'm going to walk you through all the problems we had and explain exactly what you need to do. Ahoy travelers, it's Amy with Cruising from the Ozarks with another video designed to make your vacation a success. I've sailed out of the port of New Orleans several times on Carnival, and it is super easy. You just pull right into their parking garage, which is over their cruise terminal. Baggage handlers are right there to take your bags for you, and your parking is easy and convenient. This is not the case if you're sailing on Norwegian like we did, and since Royal Caribbean passengers use the same parking lot, I'm guessing it's equally confusing for them. If you aren't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on more informative videos just like this one, along with cruise news and more. Finding the terminal itself is not the difficult part. The problem comes when you're trying to figure out where to drop off your bags and park. While we had attempted to look up information on this, there is very limited information available online. The whole setup is so confusing that we missed both the luggage drop-off and the entrance to the whale lot, which is what they call the parking lot for Norwegian and Royal Caribbean guests. And as we say in the Ozarks, we had to lick our calf over again, which means we had to go around and do it all over again, all through the whole terminal with all the people in the orange vests waving us through. We did it twice, so you don't have to. When you first pull up to the terminal area, there will be signs showing that Carnival guests need to stay to the right and Norwegian and Royal guests stay to the left. There'll be a lot of workers out there supposed to be helping you to get to where you need to go. But we found that most of them are just waving you through, and besides knowing that Carnival is to the right and Norwegian is to the left, they had no real information. I know, because on our second time through, we asked everyone. After you pass the Arado Street Terminal, which is the terminal for Carnival guests, the Norwegian terminal will be a long stretch of buildings on your right as you're waved through. In the midst of that building, there will be a section with doors that have awnings over them. That is where you need to stop and drop off your bags. When we went through the first time, there were a couple of cars pulled over there picking up and dropping off. Because remember, while we were trying to park, there were still some people leaving the terminal from the previous cruise. But I had made the assumption that they were Uber and Lyft drivers dropping off and picking up passengers, partially because there were some that had stickers on them that said they were Uber drivers. But you know what happens when you assume. I guess we got there early enough that there just wasn't a lot of people in line yet to drop off their luggage. And I never saw a single sign stating that that was where luggage drop-off was. If there was a sign, it was too small to see. And the helpful people in the orange vests just kept waving cars through. The second time through, we stopped and asked the lady waving cars through where the luggage drop-off was, and she let us know we were already there. Everyone should need to drop off luggage. There's very few people who are getting on a ship and carrying on all of their luggage. So why they weren't stopping cars as they came through and asking if they needed to drop off their bags, I will never know. So we sort of nosed our vehicle in towards the terminal and out of the driving lane, where a really nice man helped us with our bags and gave a detailed explanation of how to actually access the parking lot. Apparently we missed it the first time because there was just a small sign that indicated the parking was down a road. And that's a very generous term for what was essentially a back alley along some railroad tracks. You had to drive down that lane to get to the entrance to the whale lot and to the booth where you pay to park, a booth which you really couldn't see until you got down there. Before I give all of you first timers the secret to finding the whale lot, be sure to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that this video needs to be shown to other people. I know I wish I'd found a video with this information prior to cruising out of New Orleans on Norwegian for the first time. So that you don't miss the entrance like we did, I'll let you in on the secret that apparently no one knows until they have already been through the circus that is parking at the whale lot. After you drop off your bags, you will continue down the road until you hit Julia Street, where you will take a left. Don't worry, there will be someone there making sure you turn left. Unfortunately, if it's the same lady working that was there the day we went through, not only is she not helpful, you might get a death stare and yelled at like we did. But once you turn left, you will immediately cross some railroad tracks. There's a wall along the tracks, and the road to the parking entrance is to the right, just after the wall, which is why we missed it. It's obvious that the parking lot is ahead to your right, so I was looking beyond the sign at the lot itself, believing the entrance was at the lot. Plus, they had people along Julia Street that were taking people's luggage and putting it into these carts, and that was just ahead of us. So I was watching that, and I believed erroneously that you would drop off your luggage and then you would pull into the parking lot right past there. There's no way to get into the parking lot past where they were loading luggage. What I think happens is that some people go to the parking lot first. They miss the part where you could drop your luggage off at the terminal itself. Shocker. And then they drag their luggage through the parking lot and drop it off right there next to the whale lot. So to recap your steps, they are turn left on Julia Street, cross the railroad tracks, then an immediate right past the wall. Let me tell you, if this is your first time attempting this, it is all very confusing. Nothing is as it seems, and despite the port parking website saying that there will be people there guiding you to make sure you find where you're supposed to go, all they did was wave us through. It wasn't even until we got closer to the actual terminal itself that anyone waving us through had any answers, even if we stopped and asked. Once you get into the whale lot, it's pretty easy at that point. I mean, it's just self-explanatory. You get yourself a parking spot, then you can either choose to go straight to the terminal, or you can walk up a flight of stairs to the Riverwalk Mall. The mall is actually right there just next to the terminal itself. And since we got there an hour before our check-in time, we went to the mall first. And when you're ready to go to the terminal, you just go back down the way you came and right into the terminal. It's super easy. Stick around and check out this next video, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video that's in our Norwegian breakaway series. And it's going to be about the check-in and boarding process when sailing on Norwegian out of New Orleans. I have some things to say.